we're heating it up right now because it has to come to a certain, it has to be hot enough for it to be able to pop the rice or puff it up. And then, my name is Chosa, or wolves howling all around you. I'm from Kaniehtiio Bay, and I'm Golden Eagle Clan. Is my clan. And my wife and I are both here. We're lifelong ricers. We've been harvesting wild rice since our youth, wild rice is important to us in a lot of ways. It was important financially. It's also still our staple food, and so we eat wild rice all year long, probably 2 to 3 times a week. Actually, is how often that we eat our wild rice that we harvest. And so when we go harvesting, we always make sure that we go and harvest enough, that will, at least 100 pounds to last us all year long. So we have our food. So it's important to us. We use it in all of our ceremonies, our seasonal ceremonies, our naming ceremonies, and our funerals. So rice is with us from birth to death. So it's very important to us. And so that's why I wanted to introduce myself. And then I'll let Carlene introduce herself. And after she's done talking, I'll talk about some of the things that I brought.
Oh, bonjour. Ashwayashik Indigenous cause Makwa Ndudam Asabi Kunezagi and Jaba. My Indian name is like last bird flying. I was named by my grandmother, and I come from Net Lake. That's from Boys Fork. It's way up north, and where on our reservation, the water or we're all around wild rice. It just grows there. So our reservation is known for the best duck and wild rice. So it's really good up there. Except for the past 2 years, I don't know what's going on with the wild rice. It's been declining. Things have been not growing so good up there for the past 2 years. Kind of concerning and alarming for us as Indian people. You wonder what's going on here. How can we help our wild rice keep thriving and growing? We hadn't finished our wild rice. Donald and I have been married for 36 years, since 1989. I don't know, I can't really do the math that well. But we've been together a lot of years, and we've been racing. I raced with my mom, was my first partner. I pulled her around on the lake, and we did our wild rice, and things that I would help her do, we would hand finish the wild rice. And then when I met Donald when I was 19 years old, then we started finishing our own rice and teaching our kids and grandchildren now how to hand finish wild rice. The only rice you can really pop is what we're doing here as a demonstration, is hand finished, where you parch it over an open fire and then get your thrash your rice and everything. It just the only rice that you can't pop machine finished rice. It just don't work. So this is the only rice that will pop. And we use our pop rice for ceremonies, for naming baby ceremonies, to put out as a spirit dish. We use our pop rice. We use it for burial ceremonies, and so a lot of things we use our wild rice for. Donald and I, we eat it for breakfast. We eat it for lunch. We eat it for supper. So, and we fix it a lot of different ways.
And we eat pop rice when we're watching movies or
Yeah.
football games.
Yeah.
So we eat it every time.
Yeah.
Is everyone familiar with the ricing process? I know you went ricing. Who all here has been ricing? Harvesting wild rice. So a few, yeah. So anyways, we go in a canoe, and Carlene, you know, if I'm poling, she would sit in front of me, you know, in the middle of the canoe, and I would be way in back. Or if I was paddling the canoe, I would sit way in front and paddle from the front, and she would sit in back. But wherever she's sitting, you know, whether I was poling or whatever, she would be knocking the rice. And she made these actually. These are her knocking sticks. And these ones are 31 inches long because where we rice, we're not allowed to use sticks that are any longer than this. This is a regulation size that we're allowed to use. That way we don't knock too much rice back into the lake, you know, and waste the rice. So they determined that this is the best size of knocking stick to use. And so she would either be kneeling or sitting in the canoe, and then she would pull the rice over and then hit it like that. And usually 2 times. And she would reach over and go, and reach over and go, and reach over and go, you know. And then, yeah. And it's not a very gentle process. People think that you go out there and tap the rice. You really have to go out there and, you know, hit that rice pretty hard. So it's a real strenuous activity. And also it's rice can be a little dangerous too, because it has when the rice comes off the lake, when it's green, it has a tail. Is that what they call it, a tail? But and those can break off, and they're like little porcupine quills. So they can go in different places. They can go into your tear duct, actually, and then you can feel them, you know, because it hurts. And then so you have to stop, and sometimes we have to stop and, you know, carefully pull it out, you know. Or for women, you know, a lot of times you have to wear like a sports bra, or you have to put Band-Aids over your nipples because they can go into the end of your nipples too, and that happens quite frequently. So that, you know, it's there's hazards while you're out there harvesting wild rice, and while the whole process of harvesting and processing wild rice by hand, you know, it's all picky. Like you get picky everywhere, you know. So, and there's a lot of insects. There's rice worms. There's rice spiders. There's different types of insects that are there, and sometimes they bite, you know. So you usually have to kind of, like when we rice, we wear a long sleeve, you know, and we button our shirts way up, you know, tight, and, you know, our sleeves tight, and put rubber bands around the ends of our pant legs, you know, to keep all those little biting critters off of us while we're trying to harvest the wild rice. So it's kind of a difficult process.
One time I had to go into the emergency room while I was a teenager then, and I was ricing in that lake, and rice beard went in my eye and scratched it, you know, scratched up my eye, and I went to the emergency room, and, you know, I had to wear a patch for like about, you know, like 3 days or something, but it got infected and everything. So, yeah, it is dangerous out there when you're ricing, so you have to be careful, but sometimes that's just something that you can't, you know, that's unmanageable, is getting all the dangers of wild rice. And tipping over in a canoe, you know, because you don't have a life jacket on and everything. And one time I went with my brother, we went out ricing, and I was about, we were not in school then, we were out of school and everything, and I went with my brother, and I needed to go to the bathroom when we were out on the lake, so he said, well, I'll paddle you over to the shore, and we thought it was the shoreline, and I thought it was
the shoreline, and I stepped off, and here it was all muck.
It was
And
a floating bog.
it was a floating bog, and when I stepped out, I just went right up to my neck in mud, and my brother, grabbed me by the hair. That's the only place he could grab me, and pulled me back in the canoe and everything, but, I was really glad that I didn't lose my glasses that day. So he said, "Do you wanna go in now?" And I said, "No, we'll just stay out here." So I stayed out, and my arms were just just caked in mud and everything, but that's the kind of stuff that, when you pick rice, you really love to rice out there, and nothing's gonna stop you or whatever, so.
Has anyone ever wondered how we cooked before we had metal pans? Yes. So I brought an example of this. This is a pot that I made. One of our tribal members, when they were alive, they continued this practice of making pots. But these are the pots that we used to cook with. So, and then we made a bigger version of these same pots that were like 18 inches of diameter. And those are the pots that we used to use for parching wild rice, before we had metal pans. So these pots were, these clay pots were multi-purpose, and they were also used for storage as well. So, and so if you want to take a look at this, during our ricing processing, these are the baskets that we use. This is a fanning basket, and so we put the rice in there, and then when it, after it's been jigged, after it's been danced on, we put the rice in here, and then we fan it out so that the hulls come out. And after a little while, you just have rice in there, and then you can go through and clean out any hulls that might be left in there or anything. And so these are, the baskets that we use. I made both of these, so these are made with the rim is made with split ash, is what the rim is made from. Then this is a weegwub, or the inner bark of a basswood tree is what this is sewn with, and then it's birch bark. And this piece on here is just for reinforcement to strengthen the basket, because these baskets are used a lot. So that's what we use, and this is what we use to cook with. These pots are fired over an open fire, so you can still see the black on it from being fired. You just set them in a fire and start a big hot fire, and then your pots get on. It acts as a kiln, to make it, usable. So then after it's done, then you can cook with it or use it, for whatever you need to use it for. So I have the oil heating.
I just put one in there, it's done that.
Hopefully our electric current is strong enough. I think I used one of these before and it worked, so it should
So
heat
did
up enough.
anybody ever go out racing? Wild racing, you said? Did you share any stories about?
I have one.
Okay.
I breathed in one of the halls one time, like you were talking about, so it was stuck in my throat. So I'm like eating bread, all the things they say
Yeah.
to do, eating peanut butter, eating bread, like coughing and trying, it was just in there. So it finally came out, but it was
Oh.
pretty freaky for like a few hours. Yeah,
Yeah, gets kind of scary. then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like nothing was working.
yeah.
Yeah, I went seeding wild rice because I used to work for Great Lakes Indian Fish and Wildlife Commission, and in the boat and then the seed is still live because it's kept wet.
Yeah.
And then I dumped it out because I was taking it out of the bag, and of coworker of mine was like, just dump it out so we can both toss it out both sides of the boat. And I dumped it out and it flapped in the wind at him, so it was a bunch of those awns
Oh,
that
yeah.
got caught in his face, and he was like, you know, and he actually got one in his eye, and it was there overnight, and then he did that, it like created a blob over it, and then pushed it out, and it came out, like, cause they're like fish hooks on the ends.
Yeah. Mm,
It hurt.
they're barbed, yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of scary.
Is it not getting hot enough?
I think it will.
Okay.
It will. Try one more.
So
I have it all the way up.
would it be a good idea if we like allowed people to kind of sit and listen too? And I also want to introduce our other guests.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
thank you for getting started. Don and Carlene, I've known for a long, long time. I was just sharing with one of our student employees that Don was my first language teacher back in the day, and Michelle's too. We were in language class together here at NMU, and so he was my language teacher. So I'm really delighted to have Don and Carlene join us today for doing this demonstration. It's sort of gearing us up for tomorrow's Indigenous Food Symposium, and Roger Levine from Lockheed Desert Band of Lake Superior Ojibwe is going to be here and doing some other skills and other teachings regarding the relationship that Ojibwe people have to wild rice and the significance of that. While we're also here today, though, we have a very special guest. In addition to Don and Carlene, we have Kaniehtiio Horn is here joining us, and we are so excited. I'm beyond thrilled to be hosting her and showing her film Seeds later tonight. It is her directorial debut, so we're so delighted to have her here on campus. Thank you. So, we have a number of folks here from the Native American Student Association, and their powwow is coming up December 6th. Put that out there in the universe. Whoosh.
December 6th. Is that what you said? Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Do you want to say anything, Chris, as the president?
Yeah, he does. No, not really.
No.
Yeah, it's a good job. Good speech.
All right. Thank you very much. And also running our cameras here is Karen Webster, also AKA Sassy Native, if you follow her on TikTok and YouTube. Super happy to have her here. But shout out to everybody behind the scenes. There's a lot of things moving to make this happen and possible here today that others wouldn't necessarily know about. So Roxy, shout out, Justin, Tyler, Pammy, everybody who's kind of helped make this happen, and our student team as well. So thank you so much.
How do you know when it's hot enough?
I keep dropping one kernel at a time in there, and when it gets hot enough,
It'll sizzle.
yeah, it'll pop up. What happened from the top? Yeah. You can use vegetable oil too, or canola oil, but this is I think this is better for some reason. Can you explain why it's better?
Has a higher heating point.
It does have a higher heating point, but the foods that we see on the table today, I believe just about all of them would be eligible for what we did during the Decolonizing Diet Project. And so I picked up fresh berries, and then also some dried Bing cherries. We have pecans that were in the criteria of our diet. But the sunflower oil was one of the oils that we used to do some cooking with. And so I brought that as a possibility, but we do have canola oil as well if need be. So, because that didn't look like it lasted too long.
Yeah.
So we have maple sugar, as you saw, the sea salt, of course, because of the salt ocean under Detroit. So we have a lot of these ingredients would fit that criteria of the project that we did a number of years ago.
Are all of the things that we have here, are they, can you know if they're all native to North America or South America?
That we have,
Yeah.
other than the pine nuts, I think everything is Great Lakes region.
Oh, Great Lakes region.
Yeah, the broader Great Lakes region. So pecans are a little bit south of us, obviously, but
Mhm.
they would still be in what our determined map was for the project.
Oh, yeah.
What about some pine nuts are out?
I don't know where the pine nuts would grow, I guess. That's the only reason I wouldn't feel comfortable saying.
I think like,
Well,
Oh,
those
yeah.
specific nuts,
I
Yeah,
think those ones are out of China mostly.
yeah.
those came across the ocean, it sounds like. But I've never had, from like, the white pine with the 5, I haven't had nuts from that. I've made white pine needle tea,
oh,
but I haven't had nuts from it, so.
so one puffed up.
Yay! They did have hazelnuts, but the hazelnuts were from, where were the hazelnuts from? Like, they're very far away, not Great Lakes. But I almost bought them, but they didn't have, like, when I went to like do the bulk thing, they didn't open.
Oh,
So,
they, I don't think they, what are hazelnuts? There's a pine that grows in Europe and there's a pine that grows here. And I don't know what the difference is.
yeah.
But they're almost identical. Okay. Experimenting here. Everybody cross your fingers. You can come and watch if you want.
Come on up and watch, you guys.
Come up and watch, you guys, if you want.
What have you done to that specific rice before putting it in here?
This is hand finished rice. You know, we harvested it, we dried it, we parched it over an open fire, and then but the only thing that we used a machine to remove the hulls. But for our ceremonial rice every year, we jig on it. We jig on it with a special pair of moccasins.
Okay.
But you know, and that's our ceremonial rice. And then the rest of it, then we do in a. Well, they made this machine. They call it the manominator. And so you just put the rice in, and it's got some little rubber paddles that spin around, and it breaks the hulls off. And then it has a fan blowing through it, and it blows the hulls out. So it's a lot easier than having to dance on it, and then winnow it with the winnowing baskets. All right, here we go. Put it in there, and it should puff right up in a couple minutes, seconds. Perfect. Then you shake the oil off, any excess oil. And then you just put it into there, so it absorbs. Then you just keep on going. And after we get enough, we'll flavor it up. We're gonna make one sweet version and one salty version. And then you can add whatever ingredients that you want in it. So this rice was actually harvested right near Keweenaw Bay.
No, it's Uber rice.
Yeah, this is actually Uber rice, yeah. But it works.
So how come the hand parts versus the other style? Why is this working out?
Because when it's hand finished, it retains more moisture. When they do it in a machine, they take all the moisture out of it, so then it doesn't, then it won't pop. Takes a lot longer to cook too. When it's machine finished, it takes about an hour to cook. As compared to this, only takes about 20 minutes to boil. So this is kind of like, hand finished is kind of like instant wild rice.
You already see the corn
So if you ever try this, make sure you get a stainless steel pan, because you don't want like the chemicals from Teflon or anything coming out into your rice. And also use an all metal sieve, because if you have like a plastic handle or anything, it'll melt.
Thank you, Tina.
How long do you let it cool?
Huh?
How long do you let it cool?
Not very long.
Are you dying to dig in?
Smells good.
It smells great.
I
The
would
thing
say
about
patience.
hot rice is that
Patience, my friend.
it's really addicting. I usually do this out on my deck when I'm at home. It's because you know, she doesn't like when our stove gets all greasy. So it's kind of more convenient to do it. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do in winter though. Usually if I do it in the house, I try to put tin foil over, I put tin foil over the whole top of the stove so that the rice doesn't, grease doesn't get all over.
I've done a similar demonstration for my work at co-op,
Mhm.
and I've used a much larger pan. This is much easier, because I'm always fishing around for all the rice.
Yeah, good technique tips, hey?
I need a smaller pan.
Yeah, I've used wide pans
I've learned a lot.
and low oil and then try to scrape it
Well,
out.
2 years ago, I was doing this demonstration at the Ojibwa campground at KBIC, and I actually started a fire. So, what I did was I put too much oil in a pan, and then when it heated up, and then I put the rice in, it overflowed.
It's like a fried turkey nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I stayed calm though.
You're always calm.
They were all laughing because I was calm. I wasn't really calm.
Not on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if anybody's wondering, this is why we're not having it at the fire site.
Right, yeah.
At the center's fire site.
Should be a rainbow
Our
somewhere.
1-year-old wood arbor.
Now, if this was a Boys Fort wild rice, it would be twice as big.
Hmm?
Each grain is about twice as big as this Michigan rice.
So did you say something specific about the rice itself, that it can or can't be popped? Which ones don't pop?
Machine finished rice that you
Oh.
buy in a store. You can
Oh,
tell.
gotcha.
You can tell too because it usually looks real black,
Yeah,
and it takes about an hour to cook as compared to this takes about 20 minutes when you boil it.
I think with the smaller portions, also keep the oil on it. Is that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We are popping wild rice here at NMU.
I was just teasing anyway.
Well, it was a good idea.
So the only question that I can't answer you is how they might have done this in the past.
It smells like popcorn
Well,
too.
that's what I thought of.
Yeah, and
Bear
also
grease.
like
like any deer fat
Usually
or,
tastes twice as good.
I know my dad,
I know.
He killed a bear once and then he rendered it.
Do I have it yet?
And out of one bear, he got 5-gallon tubs of pure white lard.
Dang.
So a bear has a lot of fat on it.
Did you get it like in the wintertime?
Huh?
Did you pull it out of a cave in the wintertime?
I don't know. I can't. No, it was in the summer. Well, I don't know if it was the fall. I can't remember what season exactly, but it wasn't winter. And then, and he just used a big vat that he had with a fire, and he just cut the bear up in pieces and just throw it into there, and then and just skimmed all the lard that came up off the top, and then he put it through heated it up and ran it through like a cheesecloth or whatever so that it was just pure white lard. It looked really good actually.
Is that what we're doing next?
Huh?
Yeah, that's the next workshop.
Next session. November 8th. Be there.
I know soon at KBIC they're doing a tanning hide workshop. I'm looking forward to that.
November 8th.
Huh?
It's November 8th.
Is it?
Chris and I got it.
Oh, are you? I did it once before.
We used to host workshops like that with one of Michelle's relatives from Mole Lake. Her mom's cousin Judy and their family. We actually took them down to Mole Lake. We took students down to Mole Lake a couple of times and did it in Judy's basement, and then we did it up here, and yeah, all sorts of. It's work. Also did it with we did it with Boise too from Farmville.
I try to use I try to do that, and I was going to use a brain tanning, and then so I cracked that deer's skull open. And I actually started gagging, and I couldn't quit gagging. I couldn't do it. I don't know what it was, but something really good.
He's kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talked to a elder a long time ago about that, and he was like, "It's if you don't do it, not to make anybody feel bad, but if you don't do it, they say it's kind of like a way of like dissing the deer and their intelligence."
Yeah.
So it's like, oh gosh, we have to go through it.
I did it though.
It
but-
does stink, you guys. Wow.
I never came so close to throwing up in my life. I don't know what kind of reflex it was. I don't even know why. I don't know why. It was a weird thing.
I had a friend of mine that used to make deer leg baskets.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have the deer, like with the legs are harvested off of like the rest of the deer is usually not used when you just started, like besides the hide. So
Mhm.
they used to harvest the legs too with the tendons.
Oh,
So they
yeah.
cut it out so that the hooves stick down and the basket sticks up.
Uh-huh.
So it's a leather basket with the hooves on it, but she didn't have an alarm on her freezer,
Mm-hmm.
and her freezer thawed out in the summer until she smelled it. That was rough.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm not squeamish or anything. I've cleaned a lot of deer and fish and whatever else. But for some reason, just getting those brains, it's the weirdest thing. And like, you can eat this like breakfast cereal too, with milk and whatever you want in it. It makes a good breakfast cereal.
So when we were doing that decolonizing diet project, our quote-unquote milk products was the liquid from boiling up pumpkin seeds, like when you blend up pumpkin seeds and it turns into like a flour and then you separate it. So you have like this pumpkin seed gruel
Uh-huh.
or wild rice gruel, and then you
Mhm.
take the liquid from that, and that was our quote unquote, our milk, so
Never tried that.
it's a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, the pumpkin seeds aren't bad, but the wild rice was a little bit tougher.
But wild rice, you can make in flour and use it for, we made wild rice flour fry bread, and we made wild rice flour muffins, and we bought some store-bought, somewhere in, my daughter got it for us somewhere in Minneapolis, but it was, wild rice fettuccine noodles. And that tasted really good, actually. Well, all of it did.
So while Don's cooking, Justin, you wanna talk about some of our guests tomorrow?
Absolutely. So we are going to be bringing in just a slew of amazing people. The first person we're going to bring in is Chosa from Wisconsin. She's Stephanie Dodd. And she's part of the Great Lakes Intertribal Food Coalition. She's working on developing, hopefully we can use this model across Turtle Island, where she's working with indigenous farmers and food producers and trying to get their products directly into the hands of tribal elders and women who have young children. So she's, while she's part of a team that does it, it's not her alone. It's a massive coalition. It started in, because of COVID, they saw a need to apply for a grant. And they've grown that small little project into, I believe, a $1.2 million a year nonprofit. And it's the fastest growing nonprofit. They just won a crazy award. So it's super smart. You can hear more about it tomorrow. Followed by that is going to be a tough act for the day. Is going to be Roger Levine.
Yep.
And interestingly enough, like I learned about Roger as soon as I got here. I got here 2 years ago, and Roger's name came up, and I went to a wild rice camp. I met Roger. And he's a character. He's really into wild rice, just like Don. Carly. So he's going to talk about management, and he's going to try to start from the basics. He's going to talk about migration and origin stories, and he's going to do a storytelling. And then he's going to talk a little bit about wild rice revitalization. He's going to try to talk about revitalization here, like his efforts. So he's going to try to span the whole period of time. He's only got 40 minutes to do it. I told him, that's a lot to do in 40 minutes, but I believe it. In the afternoon, Roger's going to lead a mini. If the rain holds out, but when it's rain or shine, we're going to do a mini dancing on the rice.
Jigging,
Yeah, jigging. Jigging, where we come from, means something else. So I'm reticent to say that. If you catch me out here saying jigging, you're going to like it. But yeah, we're going to dance on the rice, and we're going to do some winnowing.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully we can get some students out there who are doing that. Some more.
Well, you won't find any baskets as pretty as mine.
You don't have to power your baskets. Yeah. And after Roger will be Jennifer Gauthier. She is from the College of Menominee. She heads up their Sustainable Development Institute. She is absolutely an amazing gem-like person. She's chosen and foregone kind of going out there into the colonial world and just focus on her own community. And has been able to transform how they do things there, focus on traditional ecological knowledge, and also developing something called the Menominee Theoretical Sustainability Framework. So there's a model out there that they're using. It doesn't reject technology. As a matter of fact, it tries to incorporate it in a culturate of technological advances. I'm super excited for her to come. She's our keynote speaker. And then, but the piece of resistance is that it's Indigenous Symposium on Food. So we're gonna have amazing food again, in the menus. Gonna be bison, turkey, wild rice. It's not gonna be hand done wild rice, but it'll still be wild rice. It's inspired from the Decolonizing Diet Project, which is headed up through the Center for Native American Studies. And then we're gonna have, I think someone here is gonna do a performance. Michelle, who's behind over here, she's going to an amazing performance. Which is, I saw it, it's a feast for your eyes and your ears. So food comes many ways. And then in the afternoon, we have a bunch of presenters from, we have people from Nanawasepi, here on Band of Potawatomis are coming up. They're going to talk about the food sovereignty program. KBIC, Aaron Johnson coming up, coming over. Frank Zoomer out of Bay Mills. We're going to talk about the Michigan's Wild Rice Stewardship Plan and how Michigan has designated wild rice as the grain, even though it's not necessarily a grain, but it's the official grain of the state grain. And what does that mean? Like, how does it get the state to be involved in a larger revitalization effort? I think that's a great model for us to take a look at. I think Chris Shaw is going to be on there talking about his experiences for land-based learning. And who else we got? April, anybody? I know I'm missing. Richard Elm's going to talk from First
Richard,
Nations.
yep, he's Oneida, hey.
He's Oneida. He's going to come up for, he's going to talk about instead of having somebody come in and tell you what to do, First Nations Development Institute and their tribal food sovereignty program are looking and trying to ask people what they want to do and then they fund it, which is an amazing model. So he's going to talk about the success of that model. They're seeing people transform their communities, just giving a little bit of hands up rather than being told what to do and how to do what they already know. So it's going to be a really busy day. At the end of the day, only a few people are going to get this, but I still got to talk about, we brought in Charles Catchpole, who's partnered with Pam at the Marquette Food Co-op and Sarah, and he's going to be doing a tasting.
Already prepping today.
Yeah, they're going for it. So this is going to be, and this is the culmination of a decolonizing diet project that April worked with them over the last 2 weeks and did demonstrations. So we're kind of heading up the final part of the symposium with an amazing chef and his partner, Charles and Jermaine. And so if you didn't get tickets, I apologize, you can blame me. But if you didn't get tickets, blame me for that too, because it's going to be amazing. They'll take all that credit. Okay, but we got an amazing day. So. And that's a lot. And I can't wait for it to happen, but also it's, I'm stressed out. I need some wild rice and chill.
All right, so our popped rice was also maybe fingers crossed we could take some of the Jamrich Hall with us so we can watch the film Seeds. No pressure to Kaniehtiio, but you want to give us a little hint on what we can expect for the movie since none of us maybe have seen it?
Okay, so it's kind of like a home invasion movie. It's a comedy. I was very inspired by Home Alone, which is a classic from the early 90s. I don't know if any of you know about it. Yeah, so it's kind of, I was inspired by Home Alone, and it's a home invasion movie, but instead of the bad guys trying to get something like money or gold or whatever, they're trying to get these very special corned beef and squash seeds. And so my character basically has to protect those seeds. And hilarity ensues. And violence. It's very violent. I'm just warning you.
Nice.
If you're squeamish, block your eyes.
Where's the setting?
Where's it set in?
Yeah, where's it?
It's like a fictional Mohawk res. Yeah. We had to shoot it in North Bay. So I was like, yeah. Didn't really look like down south, but.
I like this one a lot
Like it?
better.
Don has given the oil a thumbs up.
Yeah, first time I used this kind of oil, so.
How'd you like, because you were directing it in the movie? How'd that work?
And wrote it.
You wrote it.
I just had a lot, I surrounded myself by people that I trust. Basically, yeah.
What was-
Always good advice.
What was the budget?
Surround yourself.
Like 2 million Canadian, so 1.5 American, yeah, not much, that's for sure, for what we did.
And then what's the future?
Hmm?
You give a teaser of what you're doing next?
I mean, I'm in a show called The Lowdown, that's on FX.
How is it working with Ethan Hawke?
It's nice.
We had Sterling Hardrow here at NMU when he was a young pup 20 years ago.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh,
yep, him and Stephen Paul Judd, because they're
Okay.
buddies, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
They both came up and, yeah, so I could say I knew him way back when, but he probably has no recollection of being here, so.
I wanted to add that, I started the restoration project with Roger Levine. And that, I was teaching at Northern Michigan University then. And, the first Wild Rice Symposium that we had at
Latvia there.
Blackview there, I also had it count as one of my classes, so my students were able to go there and get college credits for attending that. And, we worked together to set that up. And then the year after that, I think I started working with the Cedar Tree Institute on a wild rice reintroduction project. And it was a 4-year project where we took a adjudicated native youth and we taught them how to do water sampling. And then we purchased green rice from different areas and we planted it, you know, in all the different waterways here in Marquette and Bergen County. So that was the first reseeding project that we did. So I was with Roger when we were doing that. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's going on probably, 17, 18 years ago already?
Yeah. Well, this is a culmination of that, actually. Now we have
That's
wild
pretty
rice.
cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So some of the spots that you seeded when you were younger are now the spots where you go to and collect wild rice from? Those bags?
Yeah. One of those places would be like Parent Lake.
As opposed to Auntie Lake.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Grandparent Lake?
Parent Lake. Does anybody have any questions for Dawn or Carlene as we're doing this?
I just think it's like rhythmically soothing to watch you do this too.
Yeah.
Like,
The sound, the little shaker sound almost, eh?
Mhm.
gotta get you with the turtle wrap.
Yeah. Well, the sound of fanning rice too is interesting.
Yeah, my mom is 79 years old, and she used, when we were up in that lake, when we were young, all she would make is kwajigana soup. And that means like, kwajigan is bread, so it'd be like with flour mixed in there. And she would, she really liked to make with duck that we would shoot, or my uncle would shoot ducks, hunt ducks all the time. So she would make kwajiganabu soup with duck and wild rice and dumplings.
and that was really good, and, my brother, well, since my mom, you know, is elderly and she has Parkinson's disease, and, my brother, I didn't know he was paying close attention to my mom when she was, you know, used to cook soup, but he made soup. He made the Kaniehtiio soup, and it was really good. It almost looked like my mom's soup. So he was paying attention, and, my brother, that was nice to see that he learned how to make her soup.
I wonder if you should flavor it up now.
Yeah.
Let's stir it around in there so it
Yeah.
absorbs that food. Remember where the spoons went?
I think they're over here.
Yeah.
And then if anybody else is gonna handle food at all, we'll need you to wear gloves, which we have over here. And then also, hopefully nobody has peanut allergies, but we do have pecans and some other nuts up there, so just be mindful of that.
They're popping wild rice.
You think this should be enough then? For me?
I don't know, people say they wanted to bring some to the movies?
Yeah. I keep making it.
Yeah.
She's seasoning it right now. One is going to be salty and one is going to be sweet, right?
Yeah, one's gonna be maple sugar and one's going to be sea salt.
So,
Smells like popcorn in here.
in front of witnesses was Carlene, for your 3 pounds of rice, Carlene.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it right by your
Okay.
the fridge, right?
Yeah.
So rice is not cheap, friends.
No, it's not.
And I think one of the reasons that this is like really special to have this is because it's really considered like food gold or whatever, you know? Like it's considered a,
Delicacy.
delicacy, sacred, there's a lot of reverence for it, but it's also a lot of love because of the hand harvested. You know, because it's hand harvested, there's a lot that goes into it. But I also want to respect and honor, you know, them by paying what it's worth, because it is worth a lot to us in this territory to have this. This is a real gift for us. So thank you to Don and Carlene. This is so awesome.
Can I ask what the going rate is for rice this year?
For hand finished, up in that lake, if you look on the Boy Sport website, it's $19.50 a pound for hand finished wild rice. So if you look on the Boy Sport. I didn't know anything. I didn't know if it was open from the bottom.
My name's Tyler. I can help out with anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Can you put some free paper towels in there?
You should walk out there and walk back in here and you guys your adult. Is that much stronger? I would say.
It smells good in here, guys.
Yeah.
So salty, not burning salt, although it's salty and sweet. They can come through now, or-
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Call people up.
Yeah. one's salt.
What's the salt and the sugar by each one so they know which one is salt?
Yeah, I did. This one's
Sugar by here.
You guys can come through.
Ooh, we get to try it now.
This one's the sugar and this one's the salt.
So there's gonna be a sweet and then a salty one. And then they got some like fruits and stuff. What do you guys suggest? What do you think I should grab? Sweet or salty?
You gotta try both.
Both? Okay.
Oh,
Two to start you off? Three. Those are dried blueberries, not for the wet.
Both. Hey Tina, thank you for being here. We are popping wild rice with Don Chosa. And what was your name again? Carlene. I was gonna say Carlina. Carlene. I knew it was wrong as soon as I was gonna say it. I was like, it smells delicious. All right.
More rice in that one then. More Should I?
Have you had it this way before, Denise?
I guess I shouldn't say that. I love salt and extra chips too. Everybody has to wrap, wrapping a bag down with their print Hi, you don't know me yet. Karen, you're gonna have to do the tasting. Yeah, so people like.
Sweet.
So I can't really say. I guess I have a sweet profile.
I see you, Karen. I'm typing that on your live.
So beautiful.
It was chippy though.
Oh, there you go.
Pretty good. Sweet,
I remember I ate by the time I woke up the next morning. Still much like cut up. I kind of like it. I mean, it's like
Okay, I don't know if it'll focus in, but definitely has a crunchy texture to it. Mmm. Very good.
Did you get sweet or salty?
I got sweet. Oh my God, it's like popping on my tongue, like almost like Rice Krispies.
yeah, when you pour milk in it, actually, it does go like Rice Krispies.
Oh. I'm like, it has a texture like Rice Krispies. Yeah, it's kind of like. I added some nuts to it. I think I'm gonna add some. I think maybe some blueberries to it.
I'm so excited right now to get.
No, I've never had it this way. It's really good. But he was saying earlier that it has to be like the fresh wild rice, not the machine ones. And you can tell the difference by when you buy the bag rice, like in the stores, you'll notice it's more black.
Yeah, it's traditionally processed.
Yeah, traditionally processed.
You want sweet?
Not the machine one.
That's good, yeah.
So I wanted to give you this. These are sweet ones on our.
Mm-hmm. Tastes really good. Hey guys, if you're new to my content, I noticed earlier I was on FYP. Make sure you're following if you like what you're seeing. I do most of my content. I go live at powwows on the weekend. But if you like what you see, like right now, I'm gonna do a little bit more of this kind of stuff. Anything culturally, cool. So if you like what you see, hit that follow button.
I was like, well, I can do this. That was the first one that I.
It's popped wild rice. So he's frying wild rice in sunflower oil. There's a sweet seasoned one and then a salty one. And it's got all the garnishes. I think I'm gonna add blueberry. It almost has like a crispy treat kind of texture to it. I don't know if it'll focus in now.
And then I made my daughter watch your reservation episode on With Careful. I was like, we're gonna go see her. And she's like, what is Dear Lady?
The sweet one with the blueberries, definitely yummy.
Is Bear gonna live or die? Well, it's kind of important, so.
Yeah, have you had it before, Shelly? Like granola. Yeah, he was saying you can add it to the cereal. Can you add this to ice cream, you think?
Yeah.
Add it to ice cream, because he was saying,
We're thinking of making cookies.
yeah? Oh my God.
I'm gonna demonstrate canning So I wanted to, you were talking about the sound of rice, and so this is I just wanted to show everyone how an example of how you fan rice or winnow rice. And so I like this small birch bark basket here. It works better for me, and hopefully they have a broom to sweep up after, because this might make a little bit of a mess. But, so anyways, this is the sound. And if there were hulls in here, the hulls, every time I slam it down like that, it creates a little puff of air. Then the puff of air would blow the hulls out. So that's what I'm doing right now, is making that puff of air that would blow any hulls that are in there out. And then after a while, then it would look just like this. You would just have rice. So I just wanted to demonstrate that. And you were talking about the sound that you like of popping, but this makes its own unique sound too when you're fanning rice. And when you do this all day, you get like into a rhythm. So it's kind of I know like her parents, when they were young, and her dad used to jig rice, they would they had an old Victrola wind up record player, and they would play records on that Victrola while he would be jigging rice for the music. So that was one way to pass the time. And then yeah. So tomorrow, if you're with Roger and he's jigging rice, tell him to get a speaker and turn some music on.
Yeah.
Really fast music.
Yeah, and it helps pass the time. It really does. So powwow music actually. So.
A little bit of whoosh.
Yeah.
Some native fitness on the rice.
Yeah, native fitness on the rice.
That's actually not a bad idea. I'll consider it. All right, April. What's that, right? Taking rice to the native dance fitness.
Oh, yeah, we should.
You bring the tarts in the rice. One time we'll dance barefoot. You have to wear a face mask so I don't accidentally inhale one.
Once you get him, start to happen.
All right, everybody get some.
Not a bad bowler.
No, he's not.
Well, we went bowling as a team.
For like 4 hours.
Going in for a third. There's plenty.
It sounds like fun.
Oh, is this the line? Oh my
It's
bad.
not, and it was fun.
Cutting in front of the presenter. Jeez.
And the score's
Very
just
good.
I feel like you look might make sense somehow. It's every second Tuesday.
I'm gonna try the sweet again.
So the next one's gonna be in November.
I think you can.
It's literally so much fun. Usually it's at my everyone. The last one I went to was on
fire cup.
Which one was your favorite?
the college how it's supposed to be, how this is my true nature, what happens when it's delayed. The next one is
Being cherries is good.
Oh, Braden.
Oh,
He's in the college.
Oh my God, I squashed that last week.
He knows all about insects.
Yeah, that's the one, that's what I use.
So and pool, science facts.
Two things that most people give.
Get some more, there's plenty of
Oh,
coffee
okay,
right
what's
over
mine?
there.
There's gonna be any left to watch the movie. April, you're gonna have to do this every time we go to the movies. What are you doing? I'm at home having my
Yep, that's April. So we're here with a wild rice demonstration with Don Chosa at the Center of Native American Studies at NMU. So what he did was pop the rice.
They're so cute.
And there's a sweet seasoned and a salty one, and we're adding all the garnishments to it. No, sweetened with maple sugar. So good. So once it's popped, it almost it almost has like a granola taste. It kind of pops in your mouth like Rice Krispies. It's really yummy. Michigan, Northern Michigan. So I'm here at Northern Michigan University, NMU.
Did you ever go maple tapping, or making maple syrup?
Oh my God, that tastes so good.
Right, I like the sweet one. I
Mhm.
don't usually like sweets either.
This is Don.
Yep. The sweetened one with maple sugar is definitely.
Yeah.
Salty? Actually, you don't give it the salty. Let's mix it up.
Hey, Melissa.
Sweet and salty. Might be onto something. Maybe like salted.
So what we were doing today, Don Chosa, right there in the hat, he fried wild rice in sunflower oil.
So I just had the,
So it gives a texture like it's almost like
had it in here, and I just took a,
like like granola, but it has it when you're eating it. It almost has like a Rice Krispie kind of pops and stuff in your mouth. Kind of really yummy. So then he sweetened one of them with maple sugar and the other one with sea salt. And we're adding like Bing cherries, blueberries, raspberries, whatever you would like, pine nuts, pecans, all that. It's so yummy.
and so it's just a half inch from the top, and then you just dip this into the hot oil, then that teaspoon of, or tablespoon of, it'll puff up. And then you put it on a line with a paper towel, and then that's it right there. So try it at home.
I will, for sure. Is this about as big of a scale as you can do, or can you do like a large scale then?
I could do more, yeah. This here uses this much oil, and this oil works the best. I've never tried this oil, before until today. And this oil works a lot better.
Really?
Yeah. So you better get some before it's gone.
Yeah.
Now you gotta come eat it.
Absolutely.
Hi, how's it going? Wonderful, how are you?
Yep, I already had 3 servings.
Heavy sweet and a little bit of, not syrup, but granulated sugar. Want some sweet? Because you don't want it to get all stuck together. I suppose you can
So
make
as soon as you put it in here, then you just cross the boat.
you can make rice crispy bars. Right, you go and you got the toppings here. You could use it to make even a topping for like apple crisp. Topping on the sweet.
Karen, we're gonna have to, bring back those, berries that
Yeah, try both.
so.
And then these are all the different ingredients. There's dried blueberries, fresh blueberries, raspberries, pumpkin syrup,
It's amazing, we loved it, and we,
housewash, and there's some dried cherries here.
worth the drive.
Raspberries and cranberries, sunflower.
Thank you, Melissa.
Oh, and we also have to use it to make That's great.
No, definitely have to do this at home. Tastes really good. I think the kids will love this.
Yeah, kids love it.
Mm-hmm.
If they're brave enough to try.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deadly Uncle.
My cousins are all there for Toronto, so I was like, okay, I gotta go for Toronto, so I want the West Coast.
Yeah, this was absolutely delicious. Hey, can we capture this on video?
We got rooms for the contest powwow. We got rooms for the Hannibal powwow.
Nice, yeah, that's
We didn't want to go to Hunting Moon this year.
I did already. I was doing it before I left.
Yeah.
What's more sweet? I mean,
Don't be shy. I went 3 times. Daniel, got the date for Potawatomi powwow here in Kansas. Do I have the date or you have the date? What is that? Sorry, your question isn't coming. Corinne? Corinne says hi.
Which Corinne?
Which Corinne? She said. June 12th, that's my birthday weekend. It was my birthday weekend last summer. Am I be invited to Kansas City again? That would be dope.
Oh, Kansas City barbecue. Oh, I was just trying to see you.
Corinne.
Oh! Yeah, I know who that is.
What up, girl?
Corinne, we're in Marquette at NMU's campus doing some cool stuff. Miss yous.
You're welcome. So yummy. So that's so yummy.
I know.
Smiles and berries.
She's like, ooh, I like that.
She's like a gleeful baby.
Mm-hmm. Like my little sassy.
I had to walk into a 4 o'clock meeting yesterday. Everybody knows. I don't have to. I'm like, okay, who has a baby car seat? I don't. It was funny. Check on the time. All right, I'll try to put this out.
How was the mixer? I think it was the weight. I think it was the first. It reminded me of like kettle.
Normally I am too, but I'm also a big salt and vinegar chip fan, so. Oh, yeah. She loved that.
Salt.
No thanks.
How are you doing? It's so nice. It's pretty nice though.
I'm a big fan of sweet.
You're so pretty.
Wow.
Excited for community center next.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I really loaded you up there.
Huh?
I really loaded it up there. I didn't leave much space faster.
I'm gonna still ask her just because I've been hobbling them. And they will kill me.
There's more if you would want.
I'm all good. I just wanted one because I was clicking over there and I was like, I don't want it with everything, but
Kind of remind me of Pop
it
Rock.
looks yummy. I always have loved
Yeah, that's
pumpkin
what it
seeds,
is.
though.
Rice Krispies, I said. Rice Krispies.
I was literally thinking earlier, I was like, what if you made popped rice Krispies? Wild Rice Krispies?
Yeah, can you add marshmallows to this, you think?
We made out of maple.
Wild Rice Krispies.
Don, you think you could add marshmallows to this? Like a Rice Krispie treat?
Yeah, you could actually. You can make Rice Krispie bars.
Ooh, wild Rice Krispie bars. Ooh.
Or you could look up the, like, you know, you have like the topping for apple crisp.
Uh-huh.
You could replace the milk with popped rice instead and topping like that.
That's fine.
You can eat it with like cereal. What else?
When you watch the Green Bay Packers win.
Riley, behind you and underneath.
Oh, you're so cute, good. Hi. Hello.
Whoa. Wow.
You cruising?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, put it on ice cream.
Ice cream, yeah. That sounds good.
Oh, Barbie.
Oh yeah, and we've done that. We made parfaits with top wild rice. You know, and yogurt. That's nice. That'll take a while.
So I think it's across the way.
Depends on how fast you eat, right?
That's what else. Yeah, so, what else I wanted to mention about popped rice is, you can put it in an airtight baggie or whatever, and you can store it, like, for indefinitely, pretty much. So, you can make it and store it, and usually when we're at home, we'll make like a big batch, and then we'll put it in Tupperware containers, you know, with the lids, and then we can, you know, and it usually doesn't last that long, but it could, you know, last for a long time. So, but we usually eat it up pretty quick. So.
Aw, thank you. Thank you for that.
This is Yvonne Lemire. She teaches welding.
Hi, April.
That's okay, I'm rich.
Yeah.
I brought one of my students down. He just we
Yeah,
sampled.
come try it.
Tanya brought some of that down. How do you guys do it though?
I
That's
know,
what I
everyone
want to
knows
know.
Tanya.
Is how how do you make it? Like how this? Sorry, are you filming?
I'm live.
You're live.
Yeah.
You start with the rice. Okay.
Live from Northern Michigan, it's Thursday evening. Wednesday. Someone's been out of work for 2 days. So it starts with wild rice over here. And Don was using metal sifter. This wild rice was hand processed.
Okay.
So he was telling us that the machine processed wild rice that you might get from a store, sometimes it doesn't contain as much moisture, so it won't pop the same way as the hand processed. So the hand processed type,
It pops better.
yep, in just little batches into this sunflower oil.
So you put it in a strainer and
Yep.
dunk it in, and then
Dunk
it just
in
kind of.
until it pops, and then
Interesting.
in here
So
we
cool.
have some sweet
Oh, you can have your own.
sweetened with maple sugar.
That's
We
the
have some
sweet
salt,
kind.
a little bit of salty with some sea salt.
Awesome.
That's all. I can serve you guys up.
Yeah, I'll try it. So Tanya, I'm sorry, Roxy brought me some of that.
Yeah, you want some sweet? Sure.
I'll try a little. This is so cool.
Yeah. I left a little bit of room for some sauce for you.
Whoa.
And you want to try some salty?
Yeah. She brought me a whole pot.
We got pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds.
I like it. I like it. What's that? Almond?
Pecan.
Pecan? I bet the pepitas. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for stopping.
Yeah, this is awesome. You guys should do more events in this room. Now that we have this big huge room.
We're doing a couple events for Native American.
I think they set them up.
November, but we're gonna be holding the Working Commons.
The thing tomorrow, is that at the Northern? Okay, it is at the Northern. Thank you.
Oh, they were in the middle.
Awesome. Now we know. It literally is grains of rice submerged in hot, hot water. Thank you. Sorry, I barged in on your filming. This is cool. Mmm. The salty one with pumpkin seeds. You tried the salty one?
Yeah, I tried the sweet and the salty, so I did eat the sweet one
You
first.
did.
I like them both.
I like them both. This is so good. I want tough rice now. Well, thank you for thinking of me. I wouldn't have known.
I know, because I got those in last year. But the movie's tonight, so
If I can, I'm gonna swing by the lunch. Right here, right here,
That's kind of why I thought it would be kind of hard to have it around because everything around.
Is that for you? Sounds familiar. Fishing.
They're hardcore.
All right, well,
I'm not,
you're giving me a treat. I love it. I love being introduced to this.
yeah.
You know, I was gonna say, but it's really good.
Okay, yeah, I'll put it on. It'll be very well. Yeah.
I mean, not that this isn't food. Yesterday after fitness, I swear I was gonna pass out, right? I had that podcast, I couldn't do things straight, and then finally, they were just starting dinner when I got done, I'm like, I need to eat something.
Thank you for the rose. So are we wrapping it up?
Yeah.
We're done?
Is there anything I can do to help you wrap up?
Well, yeah, all these stuff have to go back into the hands, I think.
Yep.
All right, guys. So thank you very much for tuning in today. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you, moderators, for keeping the chat positive. I do appreciate you. Again, this was wild ricing with Don Chosa, or Donald Chosa, and Kaitlyn Chosa, with Center of Native American Studies at Northern Michigan University. Have a good day, guys.
We have some